training. So get a notification now about that, and then we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Shay Thayer. I am the training coordinator here at Worldbook, and I'm really excited to get to share with you our new updates as well as some hidden gems that you may have forgotten about throughout Worldbook Online. So that's the goal of today's training. Again, just to show you what your products are, give you the exciting updates that we've had recently, and show you some of the hidden gems that are available in our products. You can ask questions throughout the presentation using the chat, but I'll also save some time at the end to go over any questions that you still have. So I'm just going to start with a brief presentation. So of course, why Worldbook? We use Worldbook as a reliable source of trusted information. You know that when you come to our products, you have a safe, trusted source to find the information that you need. Our core resources are designed to be progress with the learner, so they can be used before you can read all the way through adulthood. We have a lot of accommodation tools as well as educator tools to help use our products. So these are our core resources. Early learning is designed for preschool and through first grade. Kids is designed primarily for elementary students. Student can also be used by upper elementary and middle school students. And then advanced is aimed at high school and adult learners. Then we have your additional resources. Timelines is a great resource with over 650 interactive pre-made timelines that allow you to explore information in a different way. Then we have some of our foreign language resources. IASGOs and Découvert line up with the reading level of kids, but those are completely in Spanish and French. A la Planeta is another Spanish resource, but that is our advanced Spanish resource, so it's more for fluent Spanish speakers at an older age level. These are the 3 different ways that you're able to access our training guide. I will show that briefly at the end so you can see the material we have available for you there. We have how-to videos, step-by-step how-to pages. There are free promotional materials and teaching topic documents. So there's a lot in there to help you use Worldbook Online. Okay, so now for the exciting part, some of the updates that we've had in the past year or so. We've had interactive images added into Student. So these have hotspots that allow users to click on different hotspots to open up fun facts, photo galleries, video clips, and more. So those are fun to explore. Compare places in Student was updated. It now has an interactive element so users can guess at some of the different quick facts. And then it still has that digital Venn diagram comparing the 2 places side by side. The My Research feature has been updated in Student, Advanced, and Timelines. So this is our digital backpack feature, allowing you to save different resources to some different projects to keep them organized. The Compare Places in Kids and the World of Animals in Kids have both been updated. They have a new updated look, as well as that interactive element. So clicking Quiz Me would take you to being able to guess at some of those questions. And then finally, Legends of Learning games in Student. These have been available in Student throughout some of the math and science related articles, but they now have their own homepage, which is going to make it really easy for users to find these great games that we have available. Each game also has curriculum integrations. So if you do have homeschool instructors, or if kids are just interested in learning more about what that game is, those are there as well. Before we get to questions, we're going to go ahead and dive into the products. And I'm going to actually show you where to find some of those updates as well as some of the other hidden gems. I'm going to work in progressive order, so I'm just going to start with our early learning resource. Again, designed for preschool through first grade. The first thing is in activities. Here in activities, we have 3 different types. The digital coloring now has some new images added. So if you're familiar with this feature, we now have the entire alphabet in here. We also have some new number images to color and some other fun images of different animals and stuff like that. So we have some new images to keep those exciting for kids. In the stories feature, using the Enye icon, we have a selection of Trek's Travels titles that have been translated into Spanish. So each of these books is completely in Spanish, and the read aloud does work.
Llegaron justo a tiempo, dijo el pavo real.
So students can hear that book read aloud and see that word by word highlight so they can follow along. The last hidden gem I'll show in early learning is in the early learning basics feature. This is the feature pulls together resources from throughout early learning, focusing on those early concepts that users need to learn in preschool and kindergarten. The Welcome to Reading section is our guided reading program digitized. So here, users can go through the different leveled texts. They can read them digitally. They can also skip to higher levels. So let's say I'm reading at a higher reading level than A, I can jump to C to find a title that better fits my reading level. The lesson plans are in the upper right-hand corner. And here I can find lesson plans for each of those titles, as well as a foldable book. So if users don't have internet access at home, or they just want to be able to read the book offline, there is the option to print it off and fold it up so users can read it that way. So next we're going to jump into Kids. Kids is our next progression for elementary students. Here in Kids, we did get a little update at the bottom here. So there's new images for our different features in Kids. The World of Animals and Compare Places, as I mentioned, were updated. This is the new look of World of Animals. In here, users can click on the different categories of animals that they want to compare. Each animal card now has an info button. So this is going to make it easier for kids to explore certain animals without having to go through the compare part. You can see they have all their quick facts, the media gallery, and the button to view the article. But because this is a compare and contrast feature, I'll show that as well. So you're going to select your 2 animals. And then again, you have those 2 options. So the Quiz Me, I have a couple in the waiting room. The Quiz Me will take you to the option to guess at some of the questions. So I can guess which animal weighs more. And each time I answer, I'll see the answer revealed using the visual bars on the right-hand side. So just moving through the questions and guessing. And then once I get to the last question, I can click See All Comparisons, and it'll take me to that virtual Venn diagram screen. From here, you can click to learn more about either of those animals, or you can print the page with that virtual Venn diagram. If you had just clicked Compare, you would go straight to that comparison screen. So you would skip over that Quiz Me feature. The Compare Places works the same way. So you can see here I have the different categories for places around the world that I can select from. The other hidden gem in Kids that I want to show are the lesson plans. So in Educator Tools, we do have lesson plans that align with a lot of our activities, science projects, and games. So activities and science projects are both great places to go if you're looking for hands-on activities. And these just are more in-depth about how to do those activities or science projects. And then we do have some that line up with the games here in kids as well. Moving into student, I'm going to show the interactive images that I mentioned in the presentation and also the new Legends of Learning games homepage. So I'm going to search for water here. In the left-hand side where you see all of the different resources listed, there will now be an option for interactive media if we have it available. There's two different types of these interactive images. We have 360-degree images. So these are going to turn, and I can click and drag to explore. The little radar in the top right corner shows me where I can find the hotspots in that image and where I'm looking. And then just clicking on any of them, the orange eyes will give me more information and a link to the related article. This red exclamation point is going to be a warning fact. This is an embedded video.
Yeah, I'm an oceanographer at the Woods Hole Oceanographic.
And you can see there's different icons that I can click to learn more. You'll also find static interactive images. So these are just an image. You can't turn them around or anything, but they do still have those hotspots. You can see this one has a couple new images or new hotspots that were not in the last one. So you'll find different types of information depending on which interactive image you look at. And we have added more of these since we initially put them in students. So we're continuously adding more interactive images for students to explore. The new games homepage can be found under quick links. It can also be found from the hamburger menu on the right-hand side under games. Here we have all of the Legends of Learning games that are available on student. They're organized into grade range as well as subject area. So middle science, middle math, elementary science, and elementary math. I can click see more, and it's going to be broken down even further into categories within that subject area. If I click see all again, I'm going to be able to see all of the games. Some of them will allow users to filter even further so they can find a game that is exactly what they're looking for. Clicking the I button on any of these games will give them a game description. It will also tell them recommended grade levels. So if a student is coming in here just to find a game that they want to play, this might be helpful to find a game that is where they're leveled at. And then the curriculum integrations are going to show vocabulary words, discussion questions for before and after the game, and the main concepts that are covered in that game. This would also be really helpful as a parent. If you're going in here to find something that goes with what your student is learning, you can use those curriculum integrations. These games are still found in math and science related articles, so you still might stumble upon those as you're looking at articles, but they're now in a much easier place to find. The last core resource is advanced. I'm going to search for the World War II article here. Oops. If I can type that in correctly. The articles here in advanced will have primary source documents for some of the articles under related information. So here you can find these primary sources. They are externally linked, but they were chosen by our editorial team. And to go along with those in the Educator Tools feature, we have Teaching with Documents that go along with these primary sources. They give lots of background information. There are links to related articles and biographies. There are also suggested activities and discussion questions. These are great even if they're not being used as a lesson plan. If you are a student or if a user comes in and they're curious about these primary source documents, this is a great place to look for that information to help them understand what that primary source document is. And then the last resource that we're going to take a look at today is timelines. So here in timelines, you're able to search for specific timelines. You're also able to browse using the 8 categories of pre-created timelines. So I'm going to dive into science and technology, go to mathematics, and let's look at the history of mathematics. So this is what a pre-created timeline will look like. You can see there's lots of events in here already. I can zoom in and out by just scrolling on my mouse or using the tools on the right-hand side. Clicking on an event will pull it up and enlarge it so I can read it better. Clicking next or previous will allow me to jump to the different events in order. If users are logged in to their My Research account, they can edit timelines. So they can come in here and they can edit the event description. They can color code them. Maybe I'm going to color code any male mathematicians in blue and any female mathematicians in purple. I can save that, and then I'm going to be able to see it on my screen when I go back out into the main view. Users can also search for events throughout the timelines resource. So when I do a search in here, so I'm going to search for Pascal. When I do a search in here, it's only going to show events that are not already in this timeline. So I can easily click the plus button, and you can see that event popped up into my timeline. So it's really easy for users to add in any other events. If we don't have an event, you can create your own event. So I can enter in a start date. So I'm going to enter in an event for the Mobius strip. So in 1858, Mobius discovered the Mobius strip. I can color code it if I want. I can also add in any notes. So maybe I'm going to add a note about what that is. You can also add images. So I can search here if I want. Not sure if we'll have an image. If we don't have an image in Worldbook, you can also upload your own. So this is great if students or users are making a more personal timeline, they can add in their own images. Oops, I meant to create it, but once you create it, it will show up just like that other one did. In the top right-hand corner, you can save any of these timelines to My Timelines, which will save on the Timelines resource, or to one of your My Research projects. You can also switch the view. So this is a great way if you want to take the timeline offline. You can switch the view to this table format. You can even hide the media, and then there is an option to print from there. This is also great if the interactive view is a little overwhelming. This is easier to see the events in order here. Going back to the home page, we'll save that. Going back to the home page of timelines, the My Timelines section will show any pre-created timelines that you have edited or any that you have created from scratch. So here you can see the history of mathematics one that I just edited. I also have one for my life. So users could create their own and add in events. This is one suggestion we have. You could also create your own timeline to keep track of the books you're reading or as a character study. We have lots of different suggestions of the different ways that you can use timelines. We hear a lot of creative ideas on how different users are utilizing this resource. Lastly, I want to show the training guide. So from the bottom toolbar of any resource, you can click Training and Support and go to Help for Timelines or the Training Guide. This will take you here to our Training Guide homepage. I can scroll down to view any of our product pages. So for example, if you're curious to learn more about IASGOs, which we didn't look into today, I can click here. I can get up some brief information from that homepage. I can also click to see how-to articles to learn more about the different features. For example, Mundo de Animales, this is the World of Animals feature in IASGOs, so it's completely in Spanish for you. We also have how-to videos and other resources. Each product page will look the same way. For example, if you go into kids, you're going to see the same options up here. So that's a great way to learn more about the different features in our products. The free material section will have social media posts to help spread the word. There are flyers and brochures, as well as letters that you can send out. Under learning resources, you'll find the teaching topic documents. These just have suggested uses for our different products, and they are updated. So right now we have our back to school stuff up here, but as we move through the year, we add new resources. So sometimes we have our Black History Month or our Women's History Month resources in here. So I encourage you to go back in and check on those teaching topic documents. The complimentary training is where you'll find our free public webinars. We do a free public webinar every week. So if you're interested in any of these topics, you can register for those. And then in the sitemap in the upper right-hand corner, you can find links to the various resources that we have on the training guide. This is just a way to help you find exactly what you're looking for. So if I scroll down, there is a library section if you're not sure where to look for it or where to locate it anywhere else on the training guide. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any questions that you still have. And you can either use the chat or unmute if you have a question. All right, it's not looking like. Yeah, there's lots of hidden stuff in there. So I really hope that you go through and you explore the different resources and use the training guide for those. But it's not looking like there's any other questions. I do have my email up on the screen for you. So if you do have questions as you're exploring, I would be happy to help with those. Christine, are you able to answer that?
Yeah. So right now we do have, can folks hear me okay? Yes, can you hear me okay? Great. So right now we do have separate links for all of the Worldbook resources. That is an interesting idea about doing the one link to the homepage, and I think I'll talk to Shay and Wendy about that a little bit to see what we can do there. Would that be helpful for other folks as well? You like that idea? Super helpful. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you learned something new about Worldbook Online. And Christine, I will send this recording to you afterwards so you can share it.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Thanks everybody for again for being here, learning about all the neat things in Worldbook with me. Like I said, there were a lot of hidden gems that I got to explore with you today. So thank you. And thanks for the feedback about how we set things up on the Ohio Web Library. I'll see what we can do about that.
Awesome. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.